night actually. I'm Afolabi Moses and Yola, and we have with us on the call now, so we'll be acting in the capacity of. Just can you confirm you can hear me? Just like drop an emoji, just react. Actually, okay. Ops, please. You can start. You can start recording now. Okay, you have. Okay, thanks. So we have our interview. That's Oluwatomi Yosi on the call. Oluwatomi Yosi is an associate product manager, and today Nonso would be simulating a sort of um interview environment, right? And we can all learn from it. So briefly, let me just give an intro to Nonso. So Nonso is an experienced product manager with over half a decade of experience, offering a customer-centric approach and a strong focus on using data and market research to drive product strategy and achieve product-led growth. So it's truly an honor to have a mentor like Nonso on the call with us today, to help us see how the interview room goes, and of course for each and every one of us to learn from that. So I'll be handing over both parties now. Please, you can turn on your camera actually, if you don't mind. And yeah, so Nonso, over to you.
Okay. Hi everyone. Please confirm you can hear me. All right. Thank you very much, Moses. Good evening, everyone, once again. Yeah. So Moses has done the intro, and I'll dive right into the interview. All right. Let me see. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
All right. Hi, Tomiosi. Nice to meet you, and welcome to the interview. Could you start by telling me about yourself?
Okay. Thank you very much, first of all, for having me. I'm very excited for the opportunity to interview for this role. I pride myself in being responsible, efficient, and adaptable. I'm a very collaborative person who always puts the needs of my team first, and I'm very comfortable with leading in challenging situations. Sorry. Okay. I have a strong background that shows my passion for product management, having gained different experience working on both small and large teams. I've also collaborated on time sensitive projects, worked on launching new products as well. Basically, I'm someone that embraces change and supports new initiatives to drive the company's success. And I take wherever I find myself, I take ownership of my professional development and also ensuring that I bring value to my team and the organization. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for telling us about yourself. Okay. So I see you're currently a program manager at Ideation HQ.
Yes.
Yes, can you tell me about your experience so far?
Okay. Uh, it has been good. At the same time challenging. Having to work with different people and making sure that I work with expectations from different stakeholders being the company itself and also the students which I'm working with. So balancing the two takes a lot, but then it is very doable. And my day to day is I'm adapting to it. Yeah.
Okay, what's your biggest achievement so far? You think you've been there 6 months. What's the biggest
Yes.
achievement?
Okay. My biggest achievement would be seeing to the successful um sorry seeing to a successful run of a cohort, yes, and getting the students to warm up, because at the initial like the first 2 weeks of when the course started, it was a lot to get them to speak up, but having them warm up to and be responsive to classes and their instructors is like it is the biggest achievement. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So can you give me an example of, a challenging problem you encountered while, working at Ideation HQ, and how do you approach solving it, and what was the outcome?
Um, okay. Thank you for the question. So during the course of the training, there was a particular day where the facilitator and changed the time an hour to when it was scheduled for. Communicating with the students, initially they didn't have an issue with it, and the class started. But when the facilitator came on, there were issues. The person kept having issues with network and then started complaining during the course of the class. And that I eventually had to leave for a class that was supposed to be about 3 hours. He eventually left after an hour, and that made the students very pissed and disgruntled. So I had to come in and try to explain to them, bridge the gap between the students and also the company. Having to let them understand that, okay, I understand what is going on and understand how you must feel. I understand it. Being empathetic here, I was very empathetic, but at the same time, letting them know that, oh, it's going to be resolved. And before the end of that day, I made sure that we scheduled another meeting with another facilitator, and then made sure that the students were not as disgruntled as they were during the class. Yeah, so, and then after that, that led to a fruitful and more engaging class moving forward. Classes, yeah.
Okay, so your facilitator had network issues, dropped off, your students were not happy about it. Then you you managed the situation, and then got another facilitator. It was the same day or another day?
Oh no, we rescheduled for another day. Yes, we scheduled for
Another
another
day
day.
to take that
Yes,
class. Okay.
yes. That's it.
Or
Yeah.
has that been a problem in the past 6 months?
I didn't get that.
Been the most challenging problem you've
Can you take that
encountered
again?
in the past 6 months?
Working there, the most challenging problem. Please give
Challenging
me a
problem. Sorry,
second.
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I think network is lagging, sort of, but I can hear you.
Okay, cool.
Yes. Okay. That would be managing the students will be the most challenging in the past 6 months. Having to make sure that nobody feels left out. So they are divided into different groups, and having to make sure that each group's expectation is met in such a way that no group feels left out, or that, oh, I'm more open to this group more than the other. So I think that has been the most challenging so far, but then that's been overcome.
Okay. All right. So tell me about a time when you use customer feedback, you know, to make significant improvements to, I don't want to say product, a program. Yeah. To a product. I think you've been a product manager in the past. So yeah, to a product. How did you approach, what was the feedback, and how did you implement the changes?
Okay. I remember an instance where a customer complained in my previous workplace, just like I said, where I was a associate product manager. So I came across a customer that had issues with our product, and I was there physically. So he complained to me, and I took down the complaint, and then spoke to the product, or had a meeting with the product team, and we try to understand what the customer wanted or what exactly was the issue, and then try to reach out again to like help. Apparently, it was like a payment issue, and the issue was from the customer's end. So we tried to get back to the person and resolve it. Yes.
Okay. So was there any, did you get any learnings in that process that you applied to other aspects of the product, anything?
Okay. Being empathetic is a huge one when it comes to dealing with customer or taking their feedback. So having them understand that, okay, in as much as you're on your rights and all, if you don't, if you have some things that you're supposed to do on your end and you don't, that um, is not our fault, sort of, or it's not the company's fault. I don't have to say it that way, particularly to the customer, but just trying to be in the middle and be diplomatic about it. So I learned how to be more diplomatic moving forward. Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. So, just some technical questions there. So, how do you prioritize items in your product backlog?
Okay. So for prioritization, there are different models. So it will be based on the features that we're dealing with that will determine the type of prioritization technique that we're going to use. But the commonly used one is the most cool. So it
Um,
is what
sorry,
exactly.
sorry. Yeah, I'm not asking for commonly used. I want to know how you prioritize items in product backlog.
Yeah. Okay. I I would try as much as possible to see where we are in the company, what exactly is the what are the features that are in line with where currently maybe the roadmap, yes, the based on the product roadmap. So what exactly is in line with what is planned currently, what is on ground. So those are the features, and like which one that maybe are direct impediment to the products being launched, or if it has been launched, what would like cause us more what features would lead to products uh, maybe a reduction in customers, sort of. So prioritizing based on the company's vision and mission, and then based on the um, sorry, based on the customer's needs, yes, and pain points. Yeah.
Which one comes? So you first prioritize based on company's mission and vision, and then secondly prioritize based on the customer's needs.
And it's not like there's one, both of them have to work hand in hand. So I cannot, if I choose to do it based on just the or rank one above the other, it might be there might be a deficit. So I'll try as much as possible to balance both. Yeah.
Okay. So how do you achieve this balance?
Hmm. Hmm. uh that would be speaking to stakeholders, since I'm not exactly the only one running the team. So I will speak to, let's say, the product team, for instance. So speaking to the product team, development team, and then okay, what these features, or let's say we have two features basically. So what do you think? And then speaking to the um the management, yes. Then we'll talk about it, and then we'll reach a compromise that way. Yes, so that's how I'll do.
All right. So it's a collaborative effort with
Yes,
internal stakeholders. Mm.
yes.
So does data ever come in? I didn't hear you mention data. When do you apply data, qualitative and what type of data do you apply to this decision making process?
Okay. Think that at the point of prioritization, actually, there's meant to be a research on user research and market research, actually. So to check for to verify that what we want to build or not build, maybe build, or what is already in motion, what is already out, yes, just to make sure that it is a go. So there has to be uh, data is what will back our decision. So in talking to having a collaborative efforts with the team, data is also part of it. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you. So, could you please tell me why I hire you?
Uh, okay. So please give me a minute. A second. Uh, checking through the job description, see that I'm a perfect fit for this role. In terms of the impact that I would bring, in terms of teamwork, collaboration, um, adaptability, and wealth of experience. Yeah.
Mm, lots of experience. Okay. Adaptability. What else did you say? What else did you say on the list?
Adaptability, wealth of experience, apologies. I don't remember the
Mm,
last one night.
okay. All right. So what would you say are your strengths and weaknesses?
Okay, stakeholder management is strength of mine. Communication, um, and critical thinking, um, teamwork, leadership are my strong points. Then are my strengths. Then for weakness, uh, none for now.
No weaknesses. Wow. Okay. Then you are the perfect. You are the perfect PM. Perfect PM. But let's move on. So, can you describe how you conduct market research and competitive analysis? And
Okay, please can you take
you, yes, okay.
sorry.
Can you describe how you conduct market research and competitive analysis? And please use a previous example and tell me how you were able to apply what you learned into your product strategy.
Okay. Uh feels like that's a long question. I'll try to break it down. So if I get you
You don't remember the
correctly,
first part? Go on.
yes, how do I conduct market research using competitive analysis? Am I right?
No. How do you conduct market research and competitive analysis?
Okay, and competitive analysis using somewhere I've worked before.
Yes.
Okay. Uh okay, based on a previous role, we checked where I worked on a real estate product. So we checked, we were trying to work on a product on um, buying now and paying later, paying small, small. So um, we checked for competition, those that were doing it, the companies, platforms that already have those features, what they offer, and their strengths, their weaknesses, their opportunities, and then um, their threats, and checking for reviews online, from the competition's point. Yeah, checking what exactly were they not solving, or what did their customers have issues with. Yeah, so that led us to be able to build something that was different, that had a unique proposition, or that outside of what our competition already did. And it made us realize that, okay, a number of the other platforms had issues with KYC. Either they made it too long or too complicated, and also they had issues with. They said they were offering pay small feature, but when users logged in, it was not the case. So those are the things we try to build to differentiate us and have an edge, a competitive edge over them. Yeah. So it was the other part of the question.
Okay. Thank you. The other part was, how did you apply the findings to your product strategy?
Oh, okay. Yes, I think I said how that
Mm.
we used the from the research, we used the disadvantages, and permits me to call it that, the other side, the not so good parts of our competitors to build ours. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, earlier you mentioned product roadmap when you're talking about prioritization. So, can you describe a product roadmap you developed and tell us, or tell me what the key components were, and how you made sure that it was aligned with business objectives?
Mm, okay. Please give me a second. If I get you correctly, I should walk you through a product roadmap that I worked on.
Yes.
Okay. And the key components. So, um,
And how it aligned with business objectives. Yeah.
okay. So we had a set of features that we're working on. We wanted to release. We're working on a
Sorry,
product here.
sorry to miss you.
Okay.
Who is we? What role was this? When was this?
So, okay. So it was the role where I was associate product manager. So I had a senior product manager that I was reporting to and working alongside. So he worked on it. I uh, fed him on a lot of details though. So we wanted to build a product. I think the product regarding the buying now and paying later. So we had a timeline for releasing it, launching it in 6 months. So we started by checking for the epics that were important, uh, features that were important, the basics that will make the product to launch or to fly as an MVP. Yeah. So picked the basic features, the onboarding, the KYC, um, uh, the a second please. Uh, Basically features to make an MVP fly. So we scheduled it and arranged it in such a way that it passed the uh, from from the product design to the front end to the back end, quantity survey, sorry, not quantity, quality, sorry, quality assurance, yes, and then check for review, testing, and then deployment. Yes. Yes, I think that's my answer.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for your answer. So, one last question. Suppose your team encounters like a major roadblock that can cause a delay for your product launch, how would you go about addressing this issue? And what steps are you taking, to keep the project on track?
Okay, please can I take that again?
Okay, so major roadblock that
Okay.
threatens, your product launch or threatens to delay your product launch. How would you address the issue, and steps do you take to ensure that the launch is on track?
Okay. I would check it. Uh, okay. The roadblock has potential of delaying the 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 release. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Um, a second, please. So in an instance where there is a roadblock that's delaying a product that is set to launch at a certain time. So first of all, we'll be speaking with the stakeholders, internal stakeholders, and deciding if it is big enough, because it might have the potential to be a stoppage, but is it big enough to block it? So I think would look at it and know if it is something that can be removed at that time, and just carry on with the launch. But if it's something that is inevitable and has to be done, uh would look for a way to get our team to work on it as soon as possible. If it's to add incentives, or just get them, encourage them, or do like a booster to ensure that okay, they understand. First off, okay, speak to them to understand the urgency of the product launching at the specified date. So we then um encourage them or boost them or incentivize them to work on it and get it um to work optimally, so as not to delay the product's launch. Yeah, that's my answer.
Okay. Thank you so much, Tomiyoshi. Any questions for me?
Okay. Yes, I have a question. Please give me a second to gather my thoughts. Okay. What processes do you have in place to gather and prioritize user feedback as a company regarding your products?
Okay. At our company, we have a dedicated user research team who are responsible for gathering user feedback, and our team collaborates with our product team collaborates with the user research team to ensure that we're in the loop.
Okay. Another question that I have would be, what are the key performance indicators for this role and the product management team in general?
Okay. Revenue is number one, and churn rate is number two. So those are the key metrics that we are tracking.
All right. All right. That's all.
All right. Thank you. We've come to the end. Moses, you're
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you so much, Lonso. Thank you so much for that amazing session, actually. Well done, Olatomi FC. Before we take general questions, and also, I don't know, do you have like any review for her?
Okay. All right. Tomiyoshi, well done. So firstly, I would commend
you know, you being able to provide answer to virtually everything or attempting it. Even all times, if it's okay to say, to be honest and say you don't know, or yeah, try and find a very smart way to turn it back to the interviewer and say, okay, I'm not really sure, but could you, tell me? It's okay to admit, that in the interview. Um, Another thing I would say would be the way you answer some questions. You didn't try to convey impact. But in the tell me about the time questions I was asking you. For instance, when I asked you what your biggest achievement was, you didn't clearly convey the impact you had on the business. Because the bottom line is, how did you affect the business? Did you move a metric forward, moving backwards? If it's an achievement, it has to be forward, right? What metric did you move? Right? You have to have these numbers. Because if you don't have these numbers, it means that you're not really good. You don't have data at your fingertips. You're not really tracking things that are crucial to the health of your business or organization. So you should be able to call these numbers off the top of your head because you're looking at them very regularly rather. Another thing would be it's not possible to not have a weakness, right? I have a weakness. Several of us here have weaknesses, and when you're asked what is your weakness, right? It's something you should be aware of, something you should prepare for ahead of any interview you're going for, because it could be asked. You should be able to humbly say what your weakness is. Just say one. Okay, something that, for instance, hey, what's your weakness? And I could be like, something I'm working on is being able to multitask or manage my time more efficiently. I'm taking classes, or I'm taking courses, or I'm talking to a mentor and asking for help on how I can improve on this thing. That's the way to say, okay, you're struggling with time management, you're struggling with multitasking, but we also said, okay, at the same time you are aware of this and you're doing something to rectify it. And then your strengths is not the best to just list 10 things, data analyst, great data analyst, this and that, great communicator, and then a few seconds later, you can't you know, what you said. It gives up the vibe that you made it up on the spot. Uh, but generally, well done. I think, a couple more um, sessions like this, wherever, will help you greatly improve. And I would like to recommend a book called Cracking the PM Interview. A very popular book that you know helps product managers prepare for interview. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ansel.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you so much. I think we should clap for Nonso. Thank you, Nonso, for making commitment to share the book. So please, you can share with us. I mean, I have a copy, but just to be sure that it's the same one that you're saying, so that we can share with the community as a whole. So if you're okay, if I can see your hand, but just hold on. So yes, if you're not a part of the PIP community, our Slack channel, kindly join, because that's where we'll post the book. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, we'll be sharing the book on the community once I get it from Nonso. Uh, Ifema, do you still want to go ahead? All right, I think we are good. So, any questions? Okay, Bakari, please let's make it fast because Nonso has other engagements and we're actually eating into his time. So, I think I saw Bakari's hand first. Oluwalope, hi, good evening. Please, you can go ahead.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you for this session.
Yeah.
So my question is on the first question that he asked her on telling me about yourself. Like, tell me about yourself question. And so far in my previous interview, I've always been told that when you're telling your interviewer about yourself, like you need to mention your previous role and then like an area of interest that you do, like something that you do outside of work. So I really just want to clarify on that if it's right or not.
Okay. Hi, Tolu. So there are several methods or ways of, we answering this term about yourself question. But the method I subscribe to is I have a story that I prepared that I tell every single person that interviews me and asks me this question. I refine the story from time to time, and I've memorized the story by heart. Now, I say a story because you have to be able to make yourself interesting, and you have to be able to um, weave your work experiences and your skills into something that can capture the listener's attention within 2 minutes or less, right? And you have to work on this. You have to, it's like content marketing, like you're marketing yourself at that point, right? It's like an elevator pitch, but just a slightly longer one, right? So you need to sit down and draft out your story, right? About your experiences, talking about your skills, talking about what you like to do in your spare time, and don't make it sound like you are listing off things on your CV. I worked at X company between the years 2020 as the product manager, and after that, I worked as big company as the associate product manager for right. You have to be able to be interested. You have to be interesting enough so that person, you capture the person's attention from the get go, because that's usually the first question you get. And I like to throw in humor in mine. If you put that humor, I'm not saying everybody should, but something to make the listener laugh, chuckle, and strike up a conversation from there, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right. Please, if we have more questions, we can't take it. So, Yemi, please go on. I won't be taking any more persons after Yemi, so that we can let's not so go.
So that's fine. Mine isn't. I just wanted some clarity. It sounds like we're not going to have any other session, so that's what I wanted to ask. Really, whether we're going to have another prep scenario, but if we're not, somebody else can.
All right. So, we actually have a lot of community programs lined up. If that's what you're speaking to, this
No, today,
okay.
like another.
Oh no, we only take one person. Wow.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, but if you be interested in what's it called? If you be interested in being an interviewee coming weeks, you can message me on Slack on the PIP community. My name is Afolabi Moses. You are going to see a PIP logo on it, or just drop it on the general channel. I will talk from there. Okay. Yeah, and that goes for every other person that wants to would have interest in being an interviewee. So yeah, we've come to the end of today's session. Thank you so much.
Hi, Moses. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, I could stay for like 2 more questions. In case anybody
All right,
has.
thank you for that.
So if not, then yeah, Moses.
All right. So does anyone have any more questions? I'm not seeing hands. Okay. I think that would be all. So yeah, so thank you so much for this session. Thank you everyone. We are having a webinar on Thursday, same time. You can follow us on all our social media channels. Twitter at People in Products, LinkedIn, Facebook. Hi, Manuela, sorry, we've come to the end of it.
No. I'm not asking a question regarding this. It's just regarding the announcement you are making about Thursday. If we can't attend Thursday, and would we get a recording of the session?
Yes, the sessions will be hosted on YouTube. We also have like a YouTube channel.
Okay,
And
thank you.
yeah, we have a weekly check-in call on Saturday. I'm sure those that attend are looking forward to it. It's more like a therapy session for product managers. We are going through a lot individually. So we are always there to support each other, have someone hear us, give us advice, link up with similar minds. So yeah, you can also join that. Other than that, join our Slack community. Would let you know as many more interesting programs we have lined up. So thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening and enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.